So the people in the office just got a year-end bonus. And for some reason, all of them really want to buy these premium bikes for God knows what reason. Yeah, whatever. But they are calculating affordability fully wrong. And I'm sure you are also. So I have these two Excel sheets. This one to calculate affordability and the POM calculator, something none of you are doing. So let's start with the affordability calculator. People really like the Royal Enfield GT 650. So I'll use that as an example. You can change this bike to whatever bike you want. And the cost over here is roughly a lot of money. Let's find out whether we can afford it or not. But before that, let's figure out what our annual income is. So I'll put in annual income. You also put it in your sheet. 7.2 lakhs a year, income tax 0, annual net income automatically calculate ho jayega, which is 60,000 rupees per month. Now let's get to the good side. You see this bike? This bike costs 3.5 lakh rupees ex showroom. But ex showroom means exclusive of other costs like insurance and taxes, sometimes even dealer costs. So let's add that. That's another 65,000 rupees. So the on-road price of the bike is now 4,15,000. यही सबसे बड़ी गलती है. We look at this and decide whether we can afford it or not. Now you see the magic, what's going to happen next. Let's now imagine the down payment. I'm sure people have recommended to you to say 20%. So I'll put in 20% over here, 83,000. But of course, if you can do a little more, always good. But let's assume it's 20%. So the loan we are taking is for 3.32 lakh rupees. The loan tenure, I'm assuming, is 5. And an interesting thing about loans for bikes is that they are usually higher than cars, which means they're between 10 to 13%. Bunch of factors over here, interest rates, which bank are you going to, what's your credit score, blah, blah, blah. So I'll assume that your rate is 13%. Change it if it's different for you. So let's consider a 5-year loan. The EMI is going to be 7,554 rupees. Over here, what's interesting that happens is that your buying cost shows as 5.36, which means after you include the interest amount that you'll pay to the bank, your actual buying price is not this 4 lakh something or even the initial 3.5 lakhs ex showroom we saw. It is actually 5.36 lakh rupees because the interest is now included. So that is your actual cost of acquisition. But you know, that is not the final cost. We have a bunch of new heads. Let's add that. And remember, POM calculators ke baat karenge, more important than this. But let's move on to the next section, which is basically the running costs. Some people in the office come from 15-20 kilometers away, and people who are 5 kilometers away take extra GD because they've bought a new bike and will drive 20 kilometers. So I'll assume that they ride about 30 kilometers a day. Now that is about 660 kilometers a month. Of course, I'm assuming they come to office every day, jo sach nahi hai. But 22 days multiplied by that, you get 660 kilometers and an extra 300 kilometers here and there, weekend trips, about 1,000 kilometers. That's quite a lot actually, so I'll add that. Then comes mileage. Now for a heavy-duty 650cc bike, the mileage will be less. That it's around 25 kmpl. This is the claim on the internet. But I assume that it's not actually going to be 25. Let's assume it's like 20-22. It's always lesser than what is claimed is my understanding. So I'll assume it's 22. And also good rule of personal finance is to sort of underestimate things and overestimate costs. It's just a good thing. तो इससे ऊपर माइलेज आ जाए तो ग्रेट प्रॉफिट. अब यू हैव नॉर्मल पेट्रोल एंड देन यू हैव महंगा वाला पेट्रोल विच इज व्हाट 102 rupees per liter. Now when you buy a महंगा bike, most owners actually want to put the महंगा petrol to get the best performance and the best care for their bike. Even in the owner manual, which no one reads by the way, you will see the recommended fuel. So figure that out, but let me assume, because I'm a personal finance guy, let's assume you will want to put महंगा petrol in महंगा bike, which is 102 per liter. So the total fuel cost per month is 4,636. I'll add the EMI to this to bring your total running cost per month to 12,190. But you know, the costs are not over. We have another section, insurance. So when you buy a bike, Included in the initial cost is third-party insurance for 5 years. This is mandated by law. And you'll get first-party insurance for 1 year. This is usually optional, but I'll assume you actually bought this. But if you're going to own the bike for 8 long years, then there is first-party cost from 2nd year to the 8th year, and there is third-party cost from 5th year to 8th year. Now I know, itni dur ki kaun sochega? Excel sheet or 01. So we'll add this cost over here to see actual cost kya hai. If you have a 125cc bike, the third party premium is, let's say, 3,800. But a bike over 350cc is 15,117 rupees. Way more. तो महंगी बाइक लोगे तो सब कुछ महंगा हो जाएगा. And on top of this 15,117, there's an extra 18% GST, which you also need to add. Let's add this to our Excel sheet, okay? So third party premium from year 5 to year 8 is 18,000. First party insurance premium, second year onwards is going to be 3,000. So now you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to divide this into a monthly cost. So it becomes 406 rupees. I know what you're thinking. यार 400 रुपए के लिए इतना क्यों माथा खराब कर रहे हो? Because knowledge is power. If you know what something costs, nothing can surprise you. Then we have my favorite part. You know what the favorite part is? Maintenance, यानी कि service. So let's add the first service cost, which is 2,600. Then there's a second service after 6 months. That's almost nothing, but I'll add it, 120 rupees. The third service that happens after 1 year costs 3,900. Let's add that. And after 2 years, 6,700. Basically, you are spending 6,000 to 7,000 rupees yearly on maintenance. Then we have additional expenses. See, ye additional expenses na, nobody considers, and it's very tough to know. So whether it's 50 rupees or 2,000 rupees, let's include it. Aren't you curious to know ki actual total cost kya aata hai? Let's figure that out. That'll be fun, right? So I'll add all those expenses. Let's see kya aata hai. The first is bike chain and cleaning. So over here, this will roughly cost you 1,600 rupees a year. Since you ride about 10,000 kilometers a year, you'll need about 3-4 sets of chain, cleaner and lube to actually maintain this bit. So this actually costs 1,600 rupees. We think, yaar, kitna hi hoga, but let's add it. 1,600. Then we have chain and sprocket replacement, and this needs replacement after 15 to 20,000 kilometers. Let's add it. 4,000 per year is what we'll assume is the cost of replacement of this sprocket. Then we have tires. Now, premium bikes usually have these more expensive soft compound tires, and that costs more than normal. So they last 20 to 25,000 kilometers, and the cost for the front tire is between 4,000 and 7,000, and for rear tire is between 4,000 and 6,000. So of course, I don't know what the cost of your tire is going to be, but it is a few thousand rupees. So let's assume you change the tires every 2 years, and we'll add this to the Excel sheet as well. This is now around 6,000 rupees per year after I've divided it into per year cost, even though you're changing it every 2 years. Then we have other components like brake pads and random shit a YouTube video cannot predict. So let me add that as well. Let's say that's 1,500 rupees a year cost of maintenance, and we'll put this under random stuff I cannot predict over here. So our rough annual maintenance cost yearly is almost 20,000 rupees, 19,600 according to the assumptions we made. 20,000 rupees. Most people I spoke to in the office, when I asked them maintenance kya, they're like, malum nahi, I'll figure it out. 20,000 kahin se to aayenge. So that's a lot, right? So it all adds up. So anyway, now let's add this maintenance cost, turn it into a monthly cost, add it to our existing Excel sheet, and we get a grand number ki hamara monthly cost kya ho raha hai for this bike. It's now 14,230 rupees. अब तो हो गया ना? नहीं, nope. Because बाइक कौन खरीदता है? शौकीन आदमी. You're driving the bike because you want to be like, enjoy life. Enjoy life का another word is accessories. With accessories, you can put unlimited amount on it, including the gear, but I'll assume some basic stuff here. You might take an engine guard, a radiator guard and a bike cover. I'm assuming you're taking it from the manufacturer, so the cost is a little more. I'll add that. Now comes the part of the bike, gear. I'm assuming you're gonna buy a 5,000 rupee helmet, so let's keep going. Jacket 7,000, gloves 4,000, boots 8,000, crying unlimited. Total gear cost over lifespan is 31,500 rupees, which I've added. मुझे ना ये Excel sheets करके बहुत मजा आता है because you guys go इतना महंगा, मुझे पता है प्रतीक बोलेगा you can't afford the bike. No, I'm not gonna say this. I'm gonna give you something even better. Let's complete the Excel sheet first. So accessories cost per month, we've divided it, it's 328. So it doesn't feel too much, it's all right. 300 rupees to hai. So now for the final reveal, I'm gonna add the updated monthly cost over here to 14,558 and then see if the actual monthly cost is less than 15% of the salary, and it's not affordable. See, over here, it's shown that 14,500 is the monthly cost, but the cost summary in the end shows 12,590. This is because the loan amount, the EMI that's going for 5 years is included, but the cost of ownership or the life of ownership, is 8 years. So those 3 years you will not be paying EMI, so that averages out and it comes to a lower number of 12,500. Even then, it's 21% of your salary. Even though the Excel sheet shows you cannot afford it, there's still a way you can. We went crazy over to understand the actual affordability. But you know what we missed? We missed a few things. You have growth, you have relationships, you have your physical health, you have your sanity. But you know what? All these numbers and everything that we did is there just to support. So think about it. If you buy this bike and it affects all areas of your life, then maybe you shouldn't do it. And I call this framework, the peace of mind calculator. Think of how a decision in one aspect of your life affects your entire life. And if the answer is that you'll still be balanced, you'll be fine, you'll sleep well at night. Like, these numbers don't decide whether you buy the bike or not. You decide. It's your life and you're going to be 25, 26, 35, no matter what age you are, only once. But if you think that when you make this purchase, it might affect your growth, your relationships, your mental health, maybe your physical health a little bit for whatever reason, then maybe you should be a little smart about it and not buy it. Buy it later. Life is really long and I'm sure you'll figure it out. So remember, the Excel sheet doesn't decide. You decide.